What if I told you that a cornerstone of the Maple Leafs might be making a surprising shift in his contract negotiations? As we gear up for the playoffs, the focus isn't just on the ice, but also on the future of our star players. With massive decisions on the horizon, the suspense is building. Stay tuned, because this could be the moment that defines not just one player's legacy, but the entire franchise. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a thumbs up to keep the conversation going. As we dive into the latest updates surrounding the Toronto Maple Leafs, it's impossible to ignore the elephant in the room: the upcoming offseason and the pivotal decisions that lie ahead. With the playoffs on the horizon, the focus is naturally on the ice, but as a die-hard fan, I can't help but think about what's next for our beloved team. Three key players, Mitch Marner, Matthew Knies, and John Tavares, are all set to hit free agency, and the uncertainty surrounding their contracts adds an unusual layer of tension to what should be an exciting playoff run. Let's zero in on John Tavares for a moment. Darren Dreger of TSN recently painted a picture of what his next contract might look like, and it's a topic that stirs a mix of emotions for me as a fan. Tavares, the former captain and a cornerstone of our lineup, is unlikely to see a deal anywhere near the $11 million per season he's been earning. It's a stark reality that many of us have been anticipating, but that doesn't make it any easier to digest. The projected average annual value for his next contract could be around $6 million, almost a 50% cut from his previous deal. Now, I have to ask, do you think this was the best decision? Honestly, I'm torn. On one hand, Tavares has brought so much to the franchise, and his leadership is invaluable. On the other hand, the reality of the salary cap looms large, and the Maple Leafs need to make smart financial decisions to stay competitive. If you're like me, you understand the delicate balance between paying tribute to a player's past contributions and securing the future of the team. Dreger also mentioned the potential length of Tavares' new deal, suggesting a commitment of 4 or 5 years might be on the table. This brings to mind the recent contract of Steven Stamkos, who signed a 5-year deal with the Nashville Predators after the Tampa Bay Lightning decided not to match. While Tavares might fetch less than Stamkos' $8 million AAV, there's a parallel here that can't be ignored. If general manager Brad Treliving were to offer a 3-year contract, we could see the price tag elevate. It's a complicated dance, and I can't help but feel anxious about how it all plays out. There's also the intriguing possibility of deferred money, which could be a win-win for both Tavares and the organization. This approach isn't common among NHL players, but it's been utilized by a select few, and it could make a lot of sense here. With Tavares wanting to remain a part of the Maple Leafs organization and retire with the team that drafted him, a deferred salary arrangement could allow him to stay in Toronto while easing the financial burden on the cap. It's a strategy that could potentially help Tavares live out his dream while giving the Leafs some much-needed flexibility. But I can't ignore the emotional aspect of this situation. Tavares has been a fan favorite since he joined the Leafs, and the thought of him moving on feels like a betrayal to some of us. However, the financial realities of the NHL are unforgiving, and I know that many fans understand that. It's a tough pill to swallow, but as we've seen time and time again, the business side of hockey can be brutal. So, as we gear up for the playoffs and await the offseason, I want to know your thoughts. What do you expect from the Maple Leafs? In terms of Tavares' contract, do you see him sticking around, or do you think the team will part ways? And you, what do you think? I want to hear your opinions down below. Auston Matthews has been a shining star for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and his incredible performance last season, where he netted 69 goals and secured his 3rd Rocket Richard Trophy in just 4 years, has set the bar sky high. But this season, there's been a noticeable dip in his offensive output, with only 29 goals through 59 games. It's left many fans and analysts scratching their heads. Recently, NHL insider Mike Kelly shared his insights on the Coast to Coast show, discussing the possible reasons behind Matthews' decline in scoring. He suggested that Matthews might be grappling with lingering fatigue or an injury from earlier in the season that hasn't fully healed. Kelly pointed out that Matthews had an impressive 22 goals from medium-range shots last year, but this season he's only managed 5 from that critical area. That's a significant drop for a player who typically dominates there. What's particularly concerning is that while Matthews' shot volume and the quality of his shots haven't dipped much, the average speed of his shots from that medium range has decreased. To me, that's a glaring sign that something might be off. It raises the question, could fatigue from international play or a nagging injury be affecting his performance? I can't help but wonder what's truly going on behind the scenes. At the beginning of the season, Matthews even traveled to Germany to consult a specialist, but opted against surgery, believing it unnecessary. General Manager Brad Treliving described the trip as a routine checkup, but as fans, we can't shake the feeling that there's more to the story, especially with the playoffs looming and the team's recent inconsistency, alternating wins and losses in 4 of their last 5 games. Head coach Craig Berube has been strategically managing Matthews' ice time, giving him extra rest in hopes of keeping him fresh for the postseason. It's a smart move, but it also adds an element of uncertainty. We all want the best for our captain, but will this cautious approach pay off when it matters most? And then there was that scary moment against the Anaheim Ducks, where Matthews narrowly avoided a serious injury. That's the kind of luck we don't need right now. Despite the challenges, there's been a glimmer of hope. Matthews has found the back of the net 6 times in his last 9 games, showing signs of a resurgence with a scoring rate of 0.66 goals per game compared to 0.46 in the first half of the season. It's a positive trend that could be crucial as we head into the playoff stretch. As of now, the Maple Leafs sit atop the Atlantic Division with a record of 45-25-4, just 3 points ahead of the Tampa Bay Lightning and Florida Panthers, both sitting at 91 points. It's a tight race, and every game counts. The decisions being made now will shape our chances for a deep playoff run. So, what do you think? Is resting Matthews the right path to ensure he's ready for the playoffs? Honestly, I'm torn. Part of me wants him to heal completely and come back strong, but the other part knows how crucial every point is right now. The stakes are high, and as fans, we ride the emotional roller coaster with every game. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think the management is making the right choices for our team's future? I want to hear your opinions down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates on the Toronto Maple Leafs. And remember to activate the notification bell to get all the latest updates. Let's keep the conversation going. And go Leafs go!